Hello everybody, this is Floyd Kennedy, creator of Am I Old Yet?, the audio comedy drama that follows a character by the name of Helen Doherty, an elderly woman negotiating life in the 21st century with the help of, or in spite of, her family, friends and random strangers. You can support the program with a small donation via buymeacoffee.com/amioldyet or by becoming a regular subscriber at patreon.com/amioldyet. And of course, if you follow us on your podcasting app, you'll always have the weekly episodes drop down automatically as they arrive. Now, this is episode 3 of season 5, and this week, Helen finds herself debating the antics of teenagers, past and present, with her neighbour Jennifer and Jennifer's 103-year-old grandmother, Nana Madeleine. Now, what did they get up to when they were teenagers? First, Helen's on the phone with her daughter Janey. And did you know that your daughter was stressing out over the fact that there are people in the world who are younger than she is who are already rich and famous?
Oh, she did mention something like that to me, but it's ridiculous. I mean, look at her. She's doing so well. She's just finished her master's degree. She's had articles published in some very prestigious journals.
Yes, but there's always someone else whose life's more interesting to make one feel inadequate.
Oh, yes, I do understand that, but I thought she was just taking it all a bit too seriously. Well, I'm glad you were able to talk it through with her. She seems to share these concerns much more easily with you than she ever did with me.
But that's why grandparents were invented, you know.
Yes, and I'm very grateful. So tell me, Mom, do you still feel like that? Do you envy younger people having more success than you?
Me? Oh, not at all. Not anymore, anyway. I'm much more concerned about people younger than me who are dropping dead all over the place.
Goodness, does that happen a lot?
More and more every day.
Well, that's something else for me to look forward to when I reach your great age.
Indeed you do. Coming! That'll be Jennifer from next door. We're meeting up for coffee in the garden.
Oh, well, give my love to them all. How's Jennifer's grandmother?
Oh, she's good, as far as I know. I'll let you know.
Oh, yes, please do.
Here you are, Helen. Just milk, isn't it? Yes, indeed. Thanks, Jennifer.
And have some cheesecake, Helen. It's very good, really.
Oh, great. I shall indulge just this once, thanks, Madeleine.
What do you mean, just this once? You're not on a diet, are you?
There you are.
There's some sour cream if you'd
Oh,
like.
wow, you really know how to spoil a girl. And no, Madeleine, I'm not dieting. Just trying to be reasonably sensible about what I eat. My insides have a way of telling me when I'm overdoing it, which is not at all pleasant.
Oh, you've come to that stage. I'm sorry.
So am I, but it can't be helped, can it?
No, indeed, it cannot. We just have to adapt as the body deteriorates.
Degenerates. What? Did you just say degenerates?
Well, that's what the doctor told Harry when he was in for his checkup last week. Natural degeneration.
Good grief.
Yes, I thought it was a bit extreme. Well, to be fair, to put it in context, what the doctor said was that our bodies start to degenerate in our mid-30s. So when you're in your 60s like Harry, you can't expect it to behave like it did when you were in your 20s.
Oh, fair enough. What did Harry say?
He said he'd spent his whole life so far trying to be a decent, upstanding citizen, so maybe now he should just relax and be a natural degenerate. And tell Helen what you said, Janey.
Well?
I just said over my dead body.
Oh, good for you. But he's such a sweetheart. I can't imagine him behaving badly.
Of course not. He wouldn't know how.
Oh, I don't know about that. Really? Is there something you're not telling us?
Oh, no. Just that in his young days, he could be a bit of a tearaway.
Harry? In what way?
Well, when I first knew him, he used to shoplift.
What?
Shoplift? Yes, truly. There was this homeless shelter down the road from the supermarket, and Harry would slip a tin of this, a packet of that into his pockets and leave them for them on the steps. I thought it was terrible, but he'd say he was only helping the supermarket to do their civic duty. I would never think Harry could do such a thing.
Did he ever get caught?
No, but I made him stop as soon as I found out. I said he could do his civic duty by paying for them instead of nicking them. Oh, my Lord, what's happening?
Nana, are you all right?
Oh, yes, thank you. Just such a fright. What on earth
Well,
was that?
I think it sounded like a car backfiring.
No. Oh, no, I think it's some children with firecrackers. What are they doing with firecrackers at this time of the year? It's not Guy Fawkes Night, is it? Have I lost track completely?
No, Jennifer, I doubt that. Can you see anything?
Oh, well, I'll just go down here a bit. And see if I can see better.
Well, yeah, it's probably best to go and have a look. So, are you sure you're okay, Nana?
Yes, thank you, darling. I'm fine. I just got a bit of a fright there. I just hope nobody was hurt.
Yeah. Oh, kids, eh? They can be so thoughtless.
Oh, well, yes, but there's nothing new about that, is it? What do we think about Harry being a shoplifter? Can you imagine?
It's not easy, is it?
What about you, darling? Were you naughty when you were a child, a teenager? What did you get up to?
Me? Oh, gosh, really, I just didn't want to get on the wrong side of my mother. But my sister Marion, oh, she was a bit of a tearaway. Yeah, I always wanted to be like her. She'd sneak off to the pictures after school, or head for the beach to picnic with her mates. Mum would go crazy.
Yes, it was
she
some
just didn't
children.
care.
I don't know where they got the firecrackers from. I didn't think they were allowed to sell them to children, but I can see them in next door's yard.
What sort of age do you reckon, Jennifer?
You know, young teenagers, 12, 13. It's hard to tell these days, isn't it? They're standing around, half of them staring at their phones and the other half giggling around a pile of something on the ground. So anyway, I don't think there's any harm done. Well, let's hope not.
So what about you, Nana? Were you naughty when you were a teenager?
Oh, no, not really. No, I was, I think, quite well behaved. In fact, I was the one. I would come down hard on the other children if I saw them doing stupid things I thought stupid. I would see boys walking on the top of a fence like tightrope circus walkers, beside a busy road, and I would just say, "You're so stupid, you'll fall and you'll hurt someone else. That will be on your conscience."
And did they take any notice of you?
Not a bit. No, boys will be boys. Oh, well, that's what we used to say in the old days, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Oh, I do hope we've stopped saying that. It's really hard on both boys and girls in the long term. Time to move on, I say.
Oh, I so agree with you, Helen. It wasn't very good. Treating boys and girls so differently like that, was it? But Janey was naughty.
Me? No, I wasn't, Nana. I was a very good girl, perfect child.
Oh, no, I remember when
No, don't tell that story, please.
No, Ellen doesn't want to hear that.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, yes, she does. I'll tell it unless you tell it. I want you to...
Oh, go on, Jenny. Was it so very bad?
Oh, all right. Well, I was about, 13. It was my first year at high school. And there was a boy in our class who used to run away a lot. And he was a truant, and he started trying to talk me into going with him, and I was very apprehensive about it. I said, I don't think it's a good idea. You get into trouble, and then when you get home, you get smacked, because that's what, parents used to smack their kids in those days. I know my mother did. And anyway, he was one Friday after lunch, I agreed to go with him, and I did this every Friday for about a month before we got caught. And so we used to go off to a park near our school and head up to some little hills, not very far, but it was just so lovely. Just walking and going up and then sitting on the highest spot that we could find. and looking down over the city and thinking, wow, all those people, what are they doing? And of course, I'm talking about, well, it could have been October, November, so it wasn't warm, it was quite cold, and it was, as the weeks went on and nobody seemed to notice.
But didn't your teachers miss you? I mean, well, what sort of classes were you missing out on?
Oh, well, it was only like gym on a Friday afternoon and some home economics sort of stuff, that sort of thing. And back then, there were 40 of us so in the class, and the teachers couldn't be bothered. And I mean, gym, I was terrible at anything sporty, and the gym teacher was only interested in the good ones, so they didn't notice if we were there or not.
But you were very good at the dancing. I remember how good you were at the dancing.
Oh, well, that was in primary school, Nana. They'd a folk dancing class, and I just loved it. So I really missed it when we moved on to the high school.
Oh, what sort of folk dancing were you doing then, Jenny?
Well, I remember the Hungarian folk dances. We all had ribbons in our hair and ribbons in our... We wafted about doing a sort of polka step and going round in circles waving ribbons. I'm sure they don't really do that in Hungary, but we thought we were wonderful. And then there was a little bit of, island dancing.
Oh, did you do the Irish step dance?
Oh, no, our teacher was more into the Highland fling, where you put your fingers in the air and make them look like the antlers of a deer.
Can you still do it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, yes, they do. I've never noticed that before. When I've seen Highland dancing, that's exactly what they look like.
Oh, yes, I did love it.
Well, okay, but back to the, skiving off school on a Friday afternoon. So what happened?
Oh, well, some of the other children noticed that we were missing and they told on us. Yeah, I was really cross because to be told on, that's awful. I didn't speak to those girls for years,
Oh, you hold a grudge, do you?
Oh, well, I did then. So I didn't know any better. We were... But, we actually met up. I was in my 20s and I was going out with Harry and we bumped into a couple of them in the pub and they came up and said, oh, we're so sorry we told on you. I just laughed and said, well, it's probably just as well that you did because it wasn't a good idea and I'm sorry that I ignored you for the rest of our school time, It was just a couple of years because... we all used to leave when we were 15 and get a job back then.
Oh, my goodness, yes, that's right.
Oh, yes, and I love hearing that story.
That was When We Were Young, Episode 3, Season 5 of Am I Old Yet? Written and performed by me, Floyd Kennedy. Now, if you enjoy this podcast, please, if you haven't already done so, please take a moment to rate and review it in your favourite podcasting app, or you can drop a comment on the reviews page of the website, www.amioldYet.com/reviews. Thanks for listening. Stay safe.